What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be working on a 10-gallon aquascape that I've been working on for maybe a little bit more than a week, but not working on, like prepping. If you watched my last video on the riparium planter that I did, it's the same tank. So if you watched that video, at the end I talked about the aquascape and what I'm going to be doing. If you didn't, basically it's going to be Blackwater Riparium. I want to keep it somewhat simple, but also complex in a way. Hard to explain, but the main part is I don't know what I'm going to do for the scape. So in this video, it's not going to be one of the videos where I just kind of already have a layout in mind and I've already done it behind the scenes and I'm just kind of putting it together for you guys. This is going to be the actual process as I go through when I'm aquascaping a tank. So day one is Hardscape, and Takashi Yamano said always sleep on a hardscape. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to mess around with all the materials I have, try to get something I really like, and if I find something I really like, I'm going to sleep on it. And if the next day comes around and I still like the aquascape, I might tweak some minor things because I've had a whole day to think about it, or I might throw it away completely and restart. But the main thing is you want to sleep on a scape because you don't want to just kind of go into things and then later on see something you don't like that needs to be changed and you can't because you've already done the aquascape. So first day is hardscape, and hopefully I find something I like. Typically I do. And then the next day I just do a few minor tweaks. I don't really throw away the aquascape typically. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go over some of the materials and things I'm going to be using. Using like 4 different substrates, like combined, or 5 different substrates kind of combined. And I'm kind of on the fence about a few other things in the materials. But yeah, I'm just going to start showing you guys stuff. Here's the tank that I'll be aquascaping. It's got the riparium planter that I showed you guys how to build in the last video. This white silicone is still really bugging me. For filtration, I've got lily pipes and the original Eheim kind of inflow kind of thing, just so it'll kind of disappear in the back and there won't be any reflections. Eheim, trusty Eheim, I always use that. Fanex Planted Plus 24/7 for lighting. There's Mark's calendar. Team K Aquarius, if you follow him. He makes calendars and a bunch of other stuff, but he made calendars and they're really cool. Photobombing. But love this light. It's one of the best low-cost LEDs in the market, in my opinion, that puts out really good light. Substrate, main substrate in the tank is going to be Eco-Complete. I've never used this, but I've heard a lot about it, so I figure I should use it at some point. Foreground substrate, where all the botanicals are going to be used. These are the botanicals Enigma pack. This is like a special Southeast Asian Borneo thing that they did for me. Not going to be super accurate for what I'm keeping now, but it was really cool that they had specific stuff to the region that I was keeping that fish in. And that's just leftovers. But ADA, Colorado sand is going to be in the foreground. In the planter, it's going to be a mixture of fluorite and this pea gravel, just to help with circulation. Substrates need circulation, so bigger particle size and non-organic substrates help with that a lot. And it helps for bacteria to colonize your substrate even better. Looks like they even talk about it here. That's kind of cool. But yeah, Eco-Complete is going to be the main tank, like in-tank substrate. That's going to be, these two guys are just going to be mixed together in the planter at different intervals, and I'll show you guys how I do that later. But yeah, and then for stone, it's going to be river stone, round river stones, stuff that I found just around me, and a few pieces of wood that I found at a lake and I tested and did a bunch of safety stuff with. But that's that. I'm just going to start getting into substrate, or getting into aquascaping, and trying to figure out a hardscape. Alright, so this is what I've come up with after hardscaping for a while. I didn't know exactly how I was going to do this layout. Like I said, coming into this, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I have experimented with these kind of materials together, and this stone in particular, if you saw, I was using this stone, and I really like that stone. It gives kind of an abstract feel because of its size, but it's just too big in this to give the feel that I want. This stone, on the other hand, has a ton of character, just the coloration, the cracks and stuff like that. So I wanted to use that there, sort of in the middle, in a third point of view kind of thing. But yeah, really like that stone. And yeah, but this is what I have for now. I'm gonna fill this just so I don't have to re-soak these guys later. Sleep on this scape, and then if I like it in the morning, I'm gonna drain it and start planting and moving things around and mess with the riparium planter and actually finish the scape. But yeah. How's it going, guys? It's the next day. I had a while to sleep on it, and I really like this composition. I moved some things around, and I'm still unsure about a few things. Yesterday, this piece of wood was a lot lower, and it came kind of around here. I'm trying to, yeah, around there, and that was the first way I set it up. This log wasn't here. This one was, and it came all the way across the tank down over here. That was somewhere around there. This one was somewhere around here. Kind of like that. And that or something. But that really shielded that big stone. It gives a very good kind of Blackwater vibe, but I don't know. It's right now I'm just having trouble trying to find the right kind of balance between having this front area really open. Like if I take this out and I move this down, it adds some dimension to the bottom of the tank where the sand will be, and it opens up this area a lot, and it exposes the stone and gives it a lot more, creates an area of contrast. And then I was doing this, so where this one would go right about here, and I'd glue that piece to that piece of wood, but that kind of helps fill in this area without adding that big piece of wood that comes across, and without filling in this piece of wood like in this area. So it keeps the stone exposed, keeps that looking good, and it creates a lot of a lot of structure on the sides, which is kind of what I wanted, but I'm still not sure. So I'm probably just going to play around with this for a little while and try to decide what I want to do. It's hard for me to visualize what it's going to look like when it's done, because I've never done a Blackwater aquascape with lots of plants in the water and then a riparium. I've never done a scape like this, so it's kind of a challenge for me, which is exciting, but it's also difficult because of the challenge. But yeah, I'm just going to hang out for a little while and play with this and see if I can figure out what I want to do. Right, so I think I finally got like a composition that I really like. I glued that piece of wood in, moved this down, added a few stones, and glued some other really small branchy pieces in. Talked to a friend of mine, Mark, TMK, same guy who made the calendar. He gave me some advice, and talked to another friend and a few other friends, and they gave me some advice. But yeah, this is I think where I'm gonna go with. So now I'm gonna put it on time lapse, start filling in the sand, and start planting it. As you can see, the tank looks a little bit different. I haven't been filming very much, but basically I planted it. This is the broadleaf Sagittaria. That's arrowhead. It's going to grow out of the surface, hopefully. It's actually a pond plant. That's a something sword. It's one of my favorite swords. That should grow out of the surface. And then this is, if we can get it to focus, another sword. I had trouble planting, but yeah, hopefully that grows pretty big in that back corner. I just boiled some botanicals from Tannin Aquatics, a variety of different things. Like I said, it was just that Enigma pack that they gave special for me for when I was doing my Borneo biotope. But yeah, now I drained some of the water because it was cloudy, just because new substrates and everything. Filters are going, all that stuff, and I'm going to refill it in. So when I add water, and now that I'm just adding the botanicals, it'll be nice and tinted. Fast forward a few days, almost a week, and this is where we're at. Obviously a lot of plants are added. I'm kind of just going to blow through this because I don't want the video to be super long. Parlor Palm, Hemagraphis repanda, random terrarium plant that I don't know whether it's going to live or die. Then in the front we have Ludwigia repens planted in the bottom, in that gap. Ludwigia repens also in the terrarium planter, or riparium planter. That's going to kind of grow up and out, and this is going to come up and meet up with it, and that's going to fill up a lot of that area. And then a few bunches of Alternanthera cardinalis, really red plant. I want to have kind of random bunches, not like big stands of, you know, stem plants. I want to have them kind of interspersed to give that riparium kind of Blackwater vibe. As you can see, kind of like this, random plants kind of coming out of the botanicals, as well as kind of stems intermittently coming out. Philodendron, what else? Brazilian pennywort that's behind and around kind of the sword down there. That's gonna hopefully fill up a lot of this space if I keep trimming it and replanting and stuff like that. Hydro SP Japan, and this crack, I want it to kind of anchor on the wood and grow up the wood and kind of fill in a lot of space over here. Amazon Frogbit. Every floater I have is in here. I just want to see what's going to take with all this flow and this kind of pH and stuff. So we've got Amazon Frogbit, Duckweed, Salvinia minima, and Giant Duckweed. We're just going to kind of see how those go. The Frogbit is probably going to take off once it kind of anchors, if it sends roots down to the substrate and anchors in there. I think that's it. No, the mini Christmas moss is the last thing that I've done. It's dying off up here, but it's kind of starting to take in the more saturated and watery parts of the wood. I want it to attach there and grow up the wood. In the water, I want to do Physidens fontanus, possibly Physidens nobilis if I can find some, but definitely at least Physidens fontanus. It's my favorite moss. It's insanely beautiful. I want to cover certain parts of the wood with it. And then I'm thinking down here, I want to kind of clear up a little bit of this space. I don't know why this piece of wood keeps falling. Let me just fix this real quick. But I think I want to do some kind of rhizome plant around here, and that should be good for there. And then I want to do a lot of Bucephalandra in a few different gaps. Bucephalandra, or Buke, or Buse, people pronounce it a bunch of different ways. But haven't really used a lot of it yet, and I think this would be a great scape to use it with. But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions for plants, let me know down in the comments section. But that's the scape. It's amazing in my opinion. I freaking love it, and it's just everything I hoped it would be. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Slowly on the quest for 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I would get this far. It's actually really exciting for me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, maybe learned something from my weird process, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.